Yeah, Maresca out. We are tired of losing. It's preseason. We've only won one game in 4 against Club America. Now, it's Club America, so obviously Chelsea needed to win. But here's the thing. I'm not doing that. It's too early. I'm not doing that. There is no way you're going to have basically a new team, because you got players coming from injuries, the likes of Reece James, Lavia, Christopher Nkunku, even new players like Gio and them. So, and then on top of that, you have a new coach as well with a different play, with a different style of play. His system is different from what we were having last season. So you can't expect to start gelling, right? But here's the thing. It does feel good when you're winning games. It does feel good. Like it did felt good when we win against Club America. I would have wanted us to win against Real Madrid, Man City, Wrexham, and Celtic, obviously. But here's the thing. If you don't win, it's not the end of the world, because again, it's a preseason, and I have to keep reminding you, it's preseason. So yeah, I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried. But I'll tell you what I'm worried about though. Our defense. I don't know. Listen, when I'm watching these games, right, to some degree, I kind of feel like these players don't want to get injured, especially our defense. You look at Reece James, he's sleeping too much. I blame him, obviously, because he's letting goals in, right? But at the same time, it's like, do you really have to be at your full capacity? Again, it's pre-season, you're trying to get your fitness back. And at the same time as well, these grounds, they're not good. It's no secret that these American grounds are shit. And that's just a fact, right? So I would rather have my players go back to Cobham as they are right now, because we just finished the American tour. I would rather them go back to Cobham fit, or at least not injured, like it looks as if like they are. Obviously, we're going to play Inter Milan in a couple of days, and I would expect them to play with their full capacity, because that's like the last game until we begin the season, like the EPL. So I would actually expect Maresca to put the first team in, to bench the likes of Reece James, because he's not going to play for the first 3 games anymore of the season, and actually have him play, the likes of Cole Palmer and stuff like that. But anyway, go back to Reece James. I'm just saying, listen, he's sleeping too much, and we all know that's not Reece James, we can blame it on the grounds, the fitness. But man, like, listen, I'm not even bothered at all. Like I said, the only thing that's actually concerning me is our defense. Like the way we live, we're letting these players run through us. It's like we're just OnlyFans girls, bro. I'm sorry, but am I allowed to say that word? Maybe not. But anyway, you get my point, right? You get my point. We're letting these men run through us like it's nothing. Buddy, Ashile, Colwill, James, and Gusto. Don't get me wrong, they're good players, but the way we're letting people just, opposition players just run through us, we need to do better. Again, our offensive, we don't have that threat. Is it because we don't have Jackson? Is it because we don't have Cole Palmer? Or is it because we just don't have a good striker? Don't get me wrong, Gil is a good player. But, he needs to develop more. He's a young fella. So I think we just need a good striker. I'm sure we're linked with Samuel Modiorin, but I don't know if he's going to, make to the capacity of the kind of striker that we need. But the good part is we're actually linked with a striker. We need to be more threat, going forward. We actually, if we're going to play in the Premier League, especially playing clubs like the Brentford, the Nottingham Forest, clubs that actually park the bus, we need to be more threat going forward, learn how to break these teams. Now today, it wasn't as bad as it's been in previous games. Noni Madueke was doing well. Sterling looks like he's coming back to the Sterling we know. Christopher Nkunku, I was happy he was playing as a 10 today, because we need more of him. If he plays as a 9, he doesn't get the ball as much as he would if he's playing as a 10. So that was good to see. Gil, yeah, he's a striker. I don't expect him to have many touches, more than, 10 or so. So he did well. There was a time I thought he could have passed the ball to Sterling, but obviously he didn't. You know, strikers, sometimes they get greedy because they don't get as much possession as any other players on the pitch. So when they do, they want to prove that they can score. So I get it. Lavia, I've got nothing else to say. That ball is a baller. Now with Enzo Fernandez, I'm not quite impressed. Why? Because I expect more from him. Again, you know, he just came back, you know, preseason. I'm not going to be too harsh on him, but I think I expect more from him. And I thought if we had put Ngungu in a 10, Lavia and Enzo 8 and 6, that would have been maybe a better fit. Because, you know, Enzo is going to go pass. Like me, he assisted, you know, the goal to Madueke. He's all right. But I think he's more good in possession. Out of possession, you need players like Lavia and Caicedo because you know they're going to get the ball, right? This inverted of Gusto and James is not really working at the moment because sometimes they don't see what's behind them because they're focusing on being in the midfield. And that's when players run through us, which again, with time, I'm hoping it gets better. So I'm not too, I mean, I'm worried, but I'm not too fixated on it. The goalkeeper, I think is good on his foot. Now, the goal, he could have, if it was Sanchez, he could have stretched a little bit more because of obviously height advantage. But I'm not worried about the goalkeeper. I think I would prefer him than Sanchez, especially if you're going to play from the back because I saw him, he's good on his feet. Now, overall, the performance was not too bad considering you're playing Real Madrid this preseason. We don't have your, you know, full first 11. I mean, actually, you know, kind of did, but you get my point. Yeah, man, I don't look. I'm just waiting for. I think I'm gonna judge more of this sort of like a preseason better when we play Inter Milan, only because we're playing at home and obviously the grounds in England, they are much better than the ones in America. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think Maresca is cooking, man. I'm sorry, but maybe I'm becoming delusional, or maybe I'm just glad Pochettino is gone. But I think he's cooking something. Like I think he's cooking something, man. We just have to wait and see. But yeah, man, it is what it is. We'll wait for Inter Milan. I think we're playing on a Sunday or Monday. If you're in Australia, I think it's a Monday. But yeah, man, fuck it. We'll see how it goes.